seems to be better right now. He had 14 tumors taken out of his bladder
Oh my God.
on Thursday. So they just took the catheter out today. Now they're getting together now to do that immunotherapy on him. Put a port in. It'll be every 3 weeks for a year.
Oh my
But
God.
they say that's supposed to be good for all of them.
Let me ask you, do you have really good insurance?
No.
Did you realize?
When it gets you by that's about it.
If you have really good insurance, sometimes you become a lot sicker. You are sometimes.
I was just talking to somebody about that.
I had a bottle of water out, and I got clear. Oh, wow. So they say, hey, hey, hey. In fact, I had 2 bottles of water, so that clear.
I had one.
I know it was. I got sidetracked, 'cause I had Jake's cup there, and he was out beginning it. And I said, do you want your water? And he said, no, I'll be in shortly. So I think I was thinking about his cup there, and I thought, well, I'll leave it right there for him. So.
And my friend was saying that, she has very good insurance, her husband was executive. No, management, it's not the same as executive health. He was management for Commonwealth Edison, Commonwealth and Power Company in the Chicago area. Um, He passed away, I don't know, 15 years ago or something. But he always said, well, if you have good insurance, these hospitals will bill your insurance. They order tests and things that you don't even need. And doctor said, you have good insurance, you're safer.
Well, luckily, I think that he was thinking, with that cancer, it was in union.
Oh, good.
So it was 100% paid. The only thing we paid out of pocket was a pair of eyeglasses, because I wasn't sure how that all went. And it was only, at that time, like $30 or $40. Everything else was 100% paid for.
That's a blessing.
Yep.
It had to happen, because you didn't kind of think that over.
Yep. And like that, we had like no life insurance on her. And we were in Florida then, so it was just trying to find her jobs. I didn't think, Jake did have it. He might not have even had a job yet, or maybe it just started. Because we moved down there in, I'll say August, beginning of August, was played July. And she passed away in November. So he really had just started a job there. Because it took him almost a month to find out. We thought we'd have to move back to New Jersey, and we just couldn't find anything down there. So my mom and dad was there, and they took a loan out on their property, and for her funeral, and we paid them back, as we're going through there.
Yay.
Well, Alba, come on. I told her I was gonna put a bottle of water away. She said 2 of them sit at a table and walk out without even water. I'm glad I got a drink of it. I did juice before I left. So,
If you want another chair, you want to say, you want to leave? Okay.
so did you do a, sale on Saturday? I saw you go by and I said, you probably didn't see me sitting back
Oh,
there.
no, I didn't.
And I said, it was about 7. And I said, I bet you she has an auction to go to.
And 2-hour drive to get there. 2?
Oh my gosh. Because I see, red and stuff.
Oh man, 2 weeks ago.
You were telling me that one. Wasn't this as hot though?
It was this hot, yes. And we were right out in the sun. We had a guy that had some difficult movements. It's crazy. It's like, I saw him going down and 2 guys caught him. And then I ran over there. It's just like, oh my God. And I had a couple of cold wet towels because they keep giving us wet towels all the time. So I just took it off and put it right over his face. And we come
sure it would be last week. And I said, well, if it's the beginning of August, I said, I bet you she's gonna go. I thought Tuesday or Wednesday. And I thought you were ahead of that, cause I saw that stuff starting to happen.
Well, you know, I thought it wasn't just because of the weather, because I got text tonight saying to me, it's already delayed, and I missed the connection in Horseshoe, but normally it would play. So, you know, it's a big thing. And it was like, delay, 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 at midnight. And I said, ah.
How many times you wink at him?
Oh, you do, you gotta run?
Fast action.
Fast action.
Oh, no, Doc, I gotta stand up.
How you doing? Good to see you. Supposedly, yeah, you go to Robert Cemetery, okay, you go, past Calabash, you go to Calabash, come just take a left.
Yeah, oh, okay,
Take
yeah.
a left, and go out there probably about 2 miles, and there's a dirt road to the right. And you'll see a sign called Cemetery, Robert Cemetery. Okay, you'll stay down there, you'll go across the bridge, and you'll look at it. You'll see, it's probably about a mile and a half.
Okay.
You'll see the cemetery, okay? Now, behind the cemetery, there's a big field.
I thought that.
There's
If you're
about
going, why
a
not?
mile there. Supposedly, that's where it all happened. The Confederates had a camp. And, the Union, pretty much
You needed it
pressured
anyway,
that,
with
on
all
Lake Cross there,
traffic goes up.
pressured the, general store guy to tell them the Confederates.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the, yeah,
That's the store?
that's the store.
And they're
It's,
on-
you know, Lake Cross, there's an old store.
Yeah.
Shy of a month now, but still.
And the Union, had a camp there.
Then you wonder what's going to happen.
No, I don't.
You wonder what's going to happen.
But, anyway,
That's the scary part.
pressured the old man, the old general store guy to tell him where the Confederates. And he told him they had a camp down there in the street. And the Union forces attacked their camp.
I had no idea.
So he didn't.
And, anyway, they scattered, you know, and they had skirmishes all through our,
Yeah.
over in California. But, anyway,
Is this Howard Street line?
Every time he needs to know this.
I found a haversack, better haversack.
Yeah, because if you, it's all like this.
It's where they carry their bullets.
Yeah.
It's a little in their notes. I found a Confederate haversack. Out on the creek, I found a haversack.
Do like I'm gonna do.
And I was wondering, see what happens.
Start asking
Yeah,
questions. I
and
have
I'm
no idea.
assuming
You have to go ask my
when
wife.
they left,
So I was gonna tell him, I had dementia, I don't know.
they scattered.
So I told this, my
Assuming
friend
he
up in
ran
New Jersey, I said, I'm a great Jimbo.
And
I got
caught
dementia,
along.
no idea who he is, what's going on, whatever. She says, oh, is that who goes finding ways all the time to yourself? I said, oh, is that
mileage reports of the golf course and a couple bids. Okay, I'll make another copy.
I think they all do that.
Actually, it was on my property.
Oh,
Yeah.
My mom lost her diamond ring.
Well, then,
And I ended up
the other night, I brought Jake home from the hospital, so I was telling him what was going on. I gotta learn to do it myself.
in the yard.
Myself to get
She
up.
told me about it.
And
She thought she
so
was.
then there was still,
And
the
I'm not
anesthesia,
gonna
right?
live, you know, I
So
thought, you know,
I had turned
where
my
I go,
head,
I'll
and he went down,
grid,
and all of a
Yeah,
sudden.
good.
grid, so I started gridding, and it was actually 20 yards away from where she
I
thought she
told you, I
was.
need to help him. I could learn to do this myself, right?
It took me
So
a week.
I had to try to calm him from hitting his head. So then he tried to
Pretty
do
cool. I
something
gave it back
in
there.
himself and tried to
Well, I
try to
bet you
hold
love
it.
that.
She loved it.
Oh, yeah, you're the hero.
Yeah, I played the hero,
It was, now
but
falls
yeah,
on his head.
I gridded it, and it melted.
Oh my God. Like he's humping like that, I'm rubbing his
More
back.
than a
Jake,
diamond.
Jake, look up, Jake, you
Had a
know,
little go.
I don't know what to do.
Give
I
me
know
a-
I have to be.
A lot of metal it picked
So
it up.
I said.
I'm assuming where the,
I'm here.
only thing I can think of is where the
I
diamond
have my right
connected,
arm. I can do it.
post or to the
Or-
ring.
or
That's
to on
what
it.
it is. That's right now.
Oh, yeah. John's come over a couple of times.
But then I set it on gold, and I couldn't
And,
figure it out.
so finally, we had to do it, I walked out, I said, let me walk you out because you're unsteady from the anesthesia and stuff. So he gets
Yeah.
out and on a
Oh,
chair.
really?
And I wanted to make us
Yeah.
well, just to give something light for supper. We didn't go home till 7. So
Oh.
I asked him, just sit
Oh,
here,
yeah.
let me go get you something.
Well,
I
that-
come
that
back
shack
out,
stuff
and
was-
he's on the groom.
Back then, it had a little bit.
Kind of on his knees and his arms out like this. And I said, oh my God, Jake, did you fall? He said, well, I tried to get out of the chair. So I turned around, I got, first of all, I never said this to you, this made me so mad. I said, if you don't want my help, I said, I'll walk right out that door and close the door behind me. That's it. So now, listen to me ever since then. Cause he goes, well, don't be that way. I said, oh yeah. I
It can
said,
be that way, yeah.
yeah.
It can be any way you want.
So, now, since then, he's been good. But I did, I was had to tell Johnny and come from me.
Yeah.
He didn't have any choice.
I'll be dang.
Yeah.
I just love history. And I tell you what, I go around here and there's a lot of history more than people know. I find a lot of Arabic. I
So
love
while I'm
Arabic.
on the phone,
I find a lot of Arabic. Like I was telling you, I had a camp on my property.
next thing he says,
that-
he says,
Those are the way they tell us here, the country, they come right up to the
Because gravy's built on it.
And
It's the
I wouldn't
coloration.
mind.
It's
It's just in the wrong, it's just in the wrong spot.
like
It makes you feel good, yeah, I get that.
every time I cook
Why
a
couldn't
salad,
it
I
be
think
lower
there's
and
that
then
gravy
think-
spot.
But
Well, see, that's what happens to us all the time.
I didn't think that when she said that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
it
what I
wouldn't
said.
be unusual, but if it's.
And now all eyes are going there.
I feel like I've gotta go back and change it before I get out of the house.
Well, maybe we can notice that. Maybe you need to get some fabric paint
Now
and
I'm
just.
now I'm targeted on you.
Yeah.
Well, that's me too, you know. Every time I see my reflection, I think,
Do they
is that
have-
gravy stain?
Have they got, maybe they got paint that you can kind of put some black dots in there?
Better just let it hang in the closets in the closet.
You don't like them.
Well, the funny thing about that is that it was when, all of our kids came for Ken's 80th birthday that weekend. And, we had a, family picture taken, and here I am, and there's my coffee stain. I could even see it in the picture, you know?
Yeah. Because we built
That's not coffee, it's gravy, it looks like gravy. I think it's gonna either go back in the closet or it's going in a bag that says.
maybe Carol can paint it for you.
value right now.
Maybe Carol can paint it.
Yeah, right, like she wants to. Nobody, I guess nobody.
Don't they have
knows
fabric
it's
paint?
antique.
Might have
Like
fabric
sports
paint.
collection.
She could
I'm a big
paint a little
sports.
something on there.
Did you want to go over here?
And
Well, it might balance me out a little.
You wanna go with the chassis too?
One among many roses that have been hanging in my closet for more than X number of years. And then they're going, now this is, it's swan song right now, I think.
Oh, well, that was
How you doing? How are you?
You got a little sun. You got a lot of sun.
Hi, honey. I'm good.
Now eBay's everything,
August 5th if you're.
but whatnot is basically sports, coin,
Here?
anything kind of.
I want to talk to you guys about the fundraising. Friends of Horseshoe Bend used to do something. So, I want to talk to you guys about that.
I bought this,
You guys can
I went to this auction one time, I bought all this.
You guys seem to be really good at it.
Have been.
Yeah.
David, what's the doing? Dogs.
What do you mean?
I don't hear going on over there. Got a big in for it?
Yeah, I got one that's supposed to be leaving tomorrow. I got somebody coming down from Michigan today. I got come down from Montana. I come down from Minnesota.
We had somebody come to Colorado,
Forget where they are now?
pound as well,
No, it's better than sitting on
and we took it in.
Yeah.
And, we welded up.
nothing in the car. It's just in my eye.
My wife found people in Colorado,
Besides
their
that.
dog,
That's
their
crazy.
dog was just like tired,
Maybe I should not.
and they go all the way to Colorado. The Horseshoe City.
How have you been?
We just get it.
Yeah, well, that was the case, with this guy too. I had a lady call me up and,
How's that mean, old
I
man?
made a pet finder.
We're trying to get him better.
And, what I do when dogs come in is I take a picture of them and do the Google thing to find out what breed it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And this weird name came up, so that's what I put on the pet finder.
that's what they were looking for.
Saturday, people call me up and say, I've been looking for a pet, for one of them from, you know, we had one 10 years ago, it was a better dog, and they went all around with him. I said, well, I will hold him for you until Wednesday. And maybe they'll come here tomorrow. Maybe they'll. they're black and white, and they look like, you know, 3 of them look like lab mixes, the other one looks like a pit mix.
Yeah.
But they look like every other dog. You know, so people don't even bother coming in, you know what I'm saying? So,
I'll figure out who it is. Who does that?
yeah, let me know.
Yeah, I will too. There's a name for it. And actually, I wanna say this is what first was. But they used to, my wife used to have Yorkies. And she found a good breeder. And, she ended up having one go to Arizona, one of the Yorkies. And what they do is fly in. You know, you get the dog to the airport. The dog's at the airport. You go fly wherever you're going. It's cost.
We had
But I'll think.
my wife got hers from Oklahoma. She wanted a Maltese. She found a good breeder in Oklahoma. That bred champion show.
Yeah, that's what this was.
Yeah, so, wasn't cheap,
No,
for 7 pounds.
yeah.
Per pound.
What a good deal, huh?
Yeah, like $500 a pound.
I think we paid $700.
How was Mexico?
It was good.
Was it?
Yeah.
Had just down for
Hot and
Do what?
Mexican-y. It was good, hot and Mexican. We had tacos though.
Mexican tacos?
All them tacos.
There's a lady in Evening Shade, that's what she does for a living. She breeds animals.
Pretty good.
When'd y'all get back?
Friday. Past Friday. It's always an experience.
Not bad.
Kinda like a rock fighter.
Do, 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 do. That don't surprise me a bit. What was that? That's last year's and this year. For what? Golf course. Membership? Well, just total grade. Memberships. All right, how are you?
A little disgruntled about a lot of things.
Me too.
I haven't really talked to me today when I was having physical therapy. She wondered if we were gonna get this book club started up again. I said, no, we can't do that. And she said, why is that? And I said, well, because the councilman voted that we could only use the building when the library was open. Neither one of you is
I'm
listening to me.
I am. I heard what you said. Library open. You can't go in there unless the librarian's there.
She paid us quite a compliment. She said, you know, when we brought him, her son, when we brought him to the book club, we had no idea how much progress he was gonna make. And she said if he hadn't been for that, he would not have even moved to the next grade, because he was so far behind in his reading. She said you guys have done marvelous things for him and got him where he needs to be. Well, we can't do that because we can't use it except for 11 o'clock.
Is that what time they open?
That's what time that's when the library opens, at 11 o'clock.
Why don't they open at 8?
Well, you tell that to the girls that are behind the desk, they don't wanna come in at 8, they got a sweet thing going on for them.
And then what, they're there from 11 to 5?
Yeah, yep, that's when they're there. I didn't set those hours, you know, we were there before they would come in. You know, you two could make a big difference in what this council does. If the two of you voted the same way every time, you would control this place, you know that? And if you have any idea how much power that gives you if the two of you were to work together like that? this to me, that, what kind of things you two could accomplish. And I know that you've done some stupid things because Brian said so, and I don't know who told Brian to do them.
I don't either.
But you guys voted for it. If you would vote against it, things would not pass.
Well, that must be good for our,
Well, I mean,
eyes have opened for me the last couple of months.
well, the problem needs to be changed. If you can do it, it would be fantastic. Because, I tried to tell Brian what his nickname was last time I spoke, and the man stopped me from saying it. But you know what he's called? Lying Brian. Because he lies all the time, and I think if he's lying to the public, he's certainly lying to you guys.
He may be. Me, I'm not talking to him enough to know if he's lying to me or not.
You don't know that by the things that he's bringing out in ordinances that he's lying?
Well, some of them,
Some of them are stupid, damn stupid.
some of them need to be done.
No, they don't. They haven't been done before, and we've gone along just fine. It's just busy work for you guys. You know that. And a lot of them don't even make sense. Why would you want to keep that library locked up when it could be helping the kids in the community?
See, I always thought it was open early too, so I didn't know they didn't open till 11. That'd be something on them though. The workers there.
I mean, it's just silly. We've got between 15 and 20 kids that don't get to come on Saturday mornings for free books we were giving them. And they were thriving on it. They were learning.
That's county.
County plays the library, and it's always been that time frame. It's not anything has changed. You know that. It's always been the same
See
time.
that we never interfered with the operation of the library at all.
And it still isn't, as long as you're not just going in there without telling anybody.
Well, we can't open it up at 11 because that's too late in the day.
What's stopping you from doing your kids' program any earlier? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm sorry?
Are you trying to say you can't do your kids' program any earlier because it doesn't open before 11 on Saturday?
Pretty much,
What's
yeah.
stopping you?
The time frame.
What time frame?
Parents don't want to wait until 11
Who
o'clock.
says you have to start at 11 o'clock?
Well, they can't get in.
Why can't they? Nothing changed says you couldn't get in. It says you still got to schedule. You just got to schedule it through the librarian. You can't just let yourself in.
That's the problem for people who
Or you don't, well, schedule it earlier. You can still use the library. You just got to go by schedule. You can't just let yourself in. What do you say, Travis?
What's going on?
Well, apparently it wasn't just fine. Apparently it wasn't just fine because they wouldn't complain that it was. That there were people in there. Then somebody tries to make it to a brain. Y'all were in there because,
That's the whole point. Nobody complained about it.
okay, maybe to you.
At any rate, give some thought to what I said, could you? Dave, are you on yours?
What they took in? So this is all they took in, green trees? Yeah. All year long?
What are you looking at? That's for that month. Dave.
That's for that month, okay. And this is for the same month now? Okay. I got you.
That month last year. That month this year. campaigning for court tomorrow, no?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Are you ready to explain how much the damage was that they did?
Yeah, I've got the receipt for what we paid for them. But,
Thank you.
but apparently there was like some hand-painted rock or something up there of a dog that they smashed that too, that Miss McCarthy brought from Carolina or something.
Oh, wow.
So she's gonna be there to,
Oh, good.
to talk about that. So, anyways. Okay, 6 o'clock. I want to call the meeting to order. Can we have a roll call, please?
Alderman Yancey? Here. Alderman Miller?
Here.
Alderwoman Hilliker?
Here.
Alderman Booth?
He can't be here this evening. He's called.
Alderman Raines? Here. Alderman Vickers? Here. Alderman Dawson? Here. Alderman Draper?
Here.
Mayor?
Here. Okay, can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear Lord, take us forward with open arms and open hearts into a future of love, of joy, of support, and understanding in these hard times. Amen. Okay, minutes.
City Council meeting, June 23rd, 2025, minutes. Mayor Delaire called the meeting to order at 6 p.m. Roll call was taken. All council members were present except David Vickers. The mayor, recorder treasurer, and the city attorney were also present. All stood for the Pledge of Allegiance, and Mayor Delaire performed the invocation prayer. The meeting minutes from the City Council meeting from May 19th, 2025 were read by the recorder treasurer. Motion to accept the minutes was made by Alderwoman Hilliker and seconded by Alderman Miller. Minutes were approved by voice vote. Treasurer's report. The recorder treasurer made comments about expenses versus revenues for May. A motion to accept the treasurer's report was made by Alderman Miller and seconded by Alderman Raines. The report was approved on voice vote. Committee reports. Motion to accept committee reports was made by Alderman Miller and seconded by Alderman Draper. The reports were approved on voice vote. Public comments. Cindy Parsons spoke about problems with building inspectors, specifically lack of action on a silt fence issue. Mitzi Ballman commented on the library ordinance and claimed some of the reasoning for the ordinance is flawed, specifically regarding the process of reserving the meeting room. Old business. Vetoes. The mayor presented his veto of ordinance 2025-12 regarding removal of Eric Grotz from the planning committee. He claimed it was a personal vendetta. Alderman Miller responded by saying the removal was not personal, but a response to Mr. Grotz's public statements regarding collection of outstanding assessments. 6:30 p.m. there was a problem with the streaming of the meeting on Facebook, and meeting was paused. 6:35 p.m. the meeting resumed. A motion was made by Alderman Miller and seconded by Alderman Yancey to override the veto of ordinance 2025-12. The override was successful, 6 votes to 1. Alderman Booth cast the nay vote. The mayor presented his veto of the appointment of Dan Robinson as superintendent of Parks and Recreation. He stated that the position was supposed to be a department head, and as such, only the mayor can appoint him. There was much discussion. The recorder treasurer commented that the council was the ultimate authority on creating positions and that they had never approved the position or the person. A motion was made by Alderman Miller and seconded by Alderman Raines to override the veto of Dan Robinson as superintendent of Parks and Recreation. The override was successful, 6 votes to 1. Alderman Booth cast the nay vote. Ordinance 2025-04 regarding water fees was read by the recorder treasurer for the 3rd time. A motion to approve was made by Alderman Dawson and seconded by Alderman Booth. The ordinance passed unanimously by roll call. Ordinance 2025-08 regarding library security was read by the recorder treasurer for the 3rd time. A motion to approve was made by Alderman Miller and seconded by Alderwoman Hilliker. The ordinance passed 6 to 1. Alderman Booth cast the nay vote. Ordinance 2025-09 regarding mayor spending limits was read by the recorder treasurer for the 3rd time. Ordinance 2025-16 regarding committee meeting location was read by the recorder treasurer for the 3rd time. A motion to approve was made by Alderman Dawson and seconded by Alderman Miller. The ordinance passed 6 to 1. Alderman Booth cast the nay vote. Ordinance 2025-11 was read by the recorder treasurer for the 2nd time. It involves the mayor's authority to vote on committees. Ordinance 2025-13 was read by the Recorder Treasurer for the third time, involves the removal of Planning Committee member Gail Fuller. A motion to approve was made by Alderman Miller and seconded by Alderman Yancey. The ordinance passed 5-2. Alderman Booth and Dawson cast nay votes. Ordinance 2025-14 was read by the Recorder Treasurer for the third time. It involves the removal of Building Committee member Rick Broderick. Denise Broderick inquired as to the reasons. The council declined to comment. A motion to approve was made by Alderman Miller and seconded by Alderman Draper. The ordinance passed 6-1. Alderman Booth cast the nay vote. Ordinance 2025-15 was read by the Recorder Treasurer for the first time. It involves the removal of Zoning Committee member Rick Broderick. I'm sorry, it was the third time. A motion to approve was made by Alderman Miller and seconded by Alderman Raines. The ordinance passed 6-1. Alderman Booth cast the nay vote. New business, Resolution 2025-25 permitting personal use of fireworks on July 4th and 5th was read by the Recorder Treasurer. A motion to approve was made by Alderman Booth and seconded by Alderman Raines. The motion passed by voice vote. There was discussion about the need to post bills of assurance and plat maps on the city website. It was recommended that the website developer train city personnel on how to post this information at a cost of $950. A motion to approve this recommendation was made by Alderman Dawson and seconded by Alderman Raines. The motion passed by voice vote. Ordinance 2025-18 was read for the first time. This ordinance specifically gives council authority over city property and finances, just as is statutory for first-class cities. There was much discussion on the ramifications of this ordinance. A motion to adjourn was made by Alderman Dawson, seconded by Alderman Draper. Motion passed by voice vote. Meeting adjourned at 7:35 p.m.
All right, so where was the correction?
That was
on ordinance 25-15?
25-15, should be third
Okay.
time.
And it
Sorry.
was read for the third time?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, as far as the minutes, are there any other corrections, deletions, additions to the minutes? All right. The only correction I want to see in here is when you say a voice vote, I want a difference between a roll call vote and a voice vote, so that people can see that when they actually subpoena or FOIA these things. That would be my suggestion.
I think I do put roll call when it's roll call.
Well, most of them just say voice vote.
When there's a number, there's a voice, it's a roll call. Past 6-1 means it was a roll call.
Okay. Well, I'd like to see it as roll call, that's all in the future.
Okay.
Any other corrections or deletions? Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as they have been written with the one correction?
So moved.
Okay, do I have a second? Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say the same. Minutes are approved. Move on to the treasurer report.
Yeah, there was some requests from finance about getting some hard numbers on revenues, so I will at least mention that the sales and use tax for June was just over $38,000. Building permits was just under $2,000. Franchise taxes were a little over $8,000. The state turnback was about $2,500, and the PP&RE taxes were $6,200. And then the other thing that I typically point out is where we're doing revenue versus expenses. The revenues for June were about $100,000. The expenses were about $71,000. But the Sheriff's Department neglected to invoice us for June, so we did not pay the $26,000 in June, so it's basically double in July. So that would account for most of the difference, but it's still, revenue is about $4,000 more than expenses, which is good, so.
Okay, any discussion on the finance report? Any additions, corrections, or deletions?
That 4,000 difference, does that account for putting that toward Parks and Rec?
That's after Parks and Rec has already been deducted.
Well, that's what I thought.
Any other questions? Comments? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
Second.
Okay, Brian seconds. Can we do a roll call vote on this, please?
Sure. Alderman Yancey.
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Alderman Hilliker.
Yes.
Alderman Raines. Alderman Vickers. Alderman Dawson.
Yes.
Alderman Draper.
Yes.
Passes 7-0.
Has everybody had a chance to read through the committee reports? Anybody not had a chance to read through the committee reports? Airport. Horseshoe Bend Animals. Zoning and Adjustment. Building Committee. Codes Enforcement. Sheriff's Department Arrest. Public Library. MSID. Public Works. And Fire Department. Okay, any comments, questions about any of the committee reports as they were read? Okay, do I hear a motion to accept the committee reports as they've been presented?
So moved.
Okay, Sean makes a motion. Do we have a second? Jeanette seconds. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say the same. Committee reports have been accepted. Okay. So, old business. First old business. Veto 6/23/2025, ordinance 2025-08. Place decisions about the library building with the Israel County Library Board, written by Brian Miller. I agree the board is responsible for the books and computers and employees. However, the building was built by the Horseshoe Bend citizens, and their right to use it as they desire must be respected. I believe we should resolve the issue not by passing a law. I would certainly agree that if Megan, the librarian, schedules a group, that takes precedence over others. In any of the scheduled times, Megan, the librarian, shall resolve the issue. And then I put another revenge problem. The truth is, a number of people talked to Megan, and Megan didn't have a problem whatsoever. There was one issue with one group where they had come in 5 minutes early. That was it. And the idea that anything was missing in our library, we haven't had anything stolen or ruined or moved or anything like that in the library whatsoever. Okay. Suggestions, comments, discussion?
I make a motion to override the veto.
Second.
Okay, Brian makes a motion. Sean makes a second. Roll call vote.
Alderman Yancey.
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Alderwoman Hilliker.
Yes.
Alderman Raines.
Yes.
Alderman Vickers.
No.
Alderman Dawson.
Yes.
Alderman Draper.
Yes.
Okay, the veto's been overridden. Okay, next veto, 6/23/2025. Ordinance 2025-13, removing Darrell Fuller from the Planning Committee. Ms. Fuller has been an active contributor on the committee. No valid cause has been shown for this action. Mr. Miller, who drafted the ordinance, did not provide any written cause to remove her. His reasons have not been made public, and have only been based on, again, hurt feelings. I'm requesting that the council stop indulging Brian's personal issues, as the council can and probably will be held liable for these unfounded removals. We become a laughing stock of Arkansas. Brian Miller pushes forward with his handler's agenda. Numerous issues the council is not addressing appropriately. I feel my warnings, of course, are falling on deaf ears. Passing laws to attack an individual person is shameful, unethical, and unwarranted. We don't need to be passing laws to take people off committees that have done nothing wrong and have caused no problems for this city. So, discussion, comments. Okay, I should tell you that I do have a request for a hearing meeting, which we will do at some point in time once we get through all this stuff. And my understanding is that those hearings, you will have to provide reasons why you're doing this stuff. It's the point of having those meetings. Okay,
I make a motion to override the veto.
Brian makes the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Yancy does the second. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Yancey.
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Alderman Hilliker.
Yes.
Alderman Raines.
Yes.
Alderman Vickers.
No.
Alderman Dawson.
Yes.
Alderman Draper.
Yes.
6 to 1.
Okay. Next veto, 6/23/2025, ordinance 2025-14, removal of Rick Broderick from the zoning committee. Again, Brian Miller's ordinance is based on no cause whatsoever, leaving the city open to litigation, which I guess you're gonna find out about that. The council has realized that this continued course of action will create future problems for the city. Who will volunteer only to be dismissed for no cause whatsoever or an adequate reason of why they should be dismissed? This really has to stop. Any discussions, comments, suggestions?
I move to override the veto.
Brian moves to override the veto.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Yancey.
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Alderwoman Hilliker.
Yes.
Alderman Raines.
Yes.
Alderman Vickers.
No.
Alderman Dawson.
Yes.
Alderman Draper.
Yes.
Okay. Veto's overruled. Last veto, 6/23/2025, ordinance 2025-15, removing Rick Broderick from the building committee. No valid cause has been shown for this action. Again, Brian's ordinance to remove anyone not agreeing with the current status quo. This also opens the city up to litigation for no reason. His experience with building and codes make him a valuable member. I believe the council should not follow Mr. Miller's agenda to lower the standards of our building committee. Comments, suggestions, discussion?
I move to override the veto.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Yancey.
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Alderwoman Hilliker.
Yes.
Alderman Raines.
Yes.
Alderman Vickers.
No.
Alderman Dawson.
Yes.
Alderman Draper.
Yes.
Okay, veto's been overridden. Okay, perfect. All right, ordinance 2025-11. This will be the third reading.
Correct. Ordinance 2025-11, ordinance to direct the mayor that he is not a voting member on city committees. Whereas the mayor has tried to exercise a voting privilege on a city committee by stating he is a voting member on all city committees, and whereas there are no statutes or ordinances that grant the mayor this privilege, and whereas this is not conducive to committees of the city to make decisions without interference, and whereas the ordinances establishing these committees have been set to allow an odd number of members to promote decision-making, now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Horseshoe Bend, Arkansas, Section 1, the City Council directs the mayor that he may observe committee meetings, however, he is not a voting member of any city committee with the exception of the Finance Committee. Section 2, the City Council directs all committees to select their desired chairperson themselves. Section 3, any decisions made by any committee utilizing the mayor as a voting member are hereby rendered invalid.
Okay. Third reading. Discussion, comments?
I move to accept ordinance 25-11.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Just catch up here, hold on. Okay. Alderman Yancey.
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Alderwoman Hilliker.
Yes.
Alderman Raines.
Yes.
Alderman Vickers.
Yes.
Alderman Dawson.
Yes.
Alderman Draper.
Yes.
Passes.
Okay, passes. Okay, ordinance 2025-09. This, why is this here? Because it didn't receive a second and it didn't,
It didn't receive a first. It was read for the third time. That's all.
was read for the third time and we asked for a vote and it never got
No,
a second.
We didn't
Nobody
ask for a vote. Nobody asked for a vote.
So then we're reading it for the third time now?
We're not reading it again at
No.
all. We're
I
giving it to
move,
council.
I move that we pass ordinance 25-09.
I'll second.
Okay. It's 2025-09, ordinance to limit the spending of the mayor of Horseshoe Bend, which I don't think they can legally do, but nonetheless, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Yancey.
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Alderman Hilliker, Alderwoman Hilliker, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Alderman Raines.
Yes.
Alderman Vickers. Alderman Dawson.
Yes.
Alderman Draper.
Yes.
Okay, passes. Next ordinance.
This is second reading.
Okay,
This is the second reading of ordinance 2025-18. Ordinance granting the city council management and control of finances and of all real and personal property belonging to the city of Horseshoe Bend, Arkansas. Whereas Arkansas annotated 14-43-502, subchapter B, sentence 1, which specifically applies to first-class cities, says, "The council shall have the management and control of finances and of all the real and personal property belonging to the corporation." And whereas the Arkansas Attorney General has opined this to be applicable to second-class cities, and whereas the city of Horseshoe Bend has not ever officially adopted this statute into the city code, now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Horseshoe Bend, Arkansas, Section 1, the City Council shall have the management and control of finances and all the real and personal property belonging to the City of Horseshoe Bend, Arkansas.
so this is the second reading?
Yes. But there was a lot of discussion last time, so I don't know if we want to further that.
Any discussion, comments? Okay. So next we move to new business, potential legal settlement.
Mr. Slade.
Mr. Sipes.
Okay. Case number 33 CV-24-25 was filed in response to the city council passing an ordinance which effectively took Dr. Clary and Bo Chevalier off of the MRID commission. This lawsuit was filed, and in response, the city ultimately repealed that ordinance. It was repealed. The case was set for a trial in August of last year, and after the city repealed it, the case was taken off the docket. I got communication from Dr. Clary and Mr. Chevalier's attorney that they will be willing to drop the case, to dismiss the case in exchange for the city council paying the attorney fees, or the city, not the city council, the city. And of course, since the city council controls that, that's why I'm bringing it up tonight. And so I told the lawyer, well, I'll have to bring this up, and whether they agree to or not, somebody's going to ask, how much is it? So the amount is $5,571.06, and y'all can agree to pay it, or you can agree not to pay it, or something in between, and it will all be legal.
Can you give me that number again so I can write it down?
$5,571.06.
Thank you.
But didn't you say in Izard County that the court doesn't usually award individual attorney fees, that each person pays their own?
I think I've told anybody who's ever asked me.
So then going forward with it, they would win the legal fees anyways.
It's not a guarantee, it's not a 0% chance, but I think the city's chances are better to not have to pay any attorney fees, since they've effectively rendered the lawsuit moot by repealing that ordinance. And the fact that the two plaintiffs agreed to disband the MRID, and that was one of the concerns in the lawsuit that Judge Meyer was concerned about, was that harm would come to the MRID. And specifically, they said if we maintain the status quo, no harm will come to the MRID. That was in the actual petition, their actual complaint. And the city repealed that, so did what they asked. But again, it's completely up to y'all. If y'all want to pay it, you can. There's nothing nefarious about that or anything.
Brad, if we decline to pay, what's the next course if we decline to pay that?
I think they'll probably set it for a hearing, and I think that probably their main point of contention is, and I hope I don't mean to be disrespectful, Dr. Clary, I know you're right there, but I don't know how else to handle this. So I think one of their main points of contention is that the mayor kind of orchestrated this and did it because he had made some demands of them, and then this was kind of a retaliation for them not giving in to the demands. But of course, the mayor has denied that, and I put that in the answer on behalf of the city council, the 4 city council members that voted for that, and the mayor.
In your answer, what was the reason given? You denied that was the reason, so in your answer, what was the reason given for this action?
I didn't give a reason.
Okay, I'm sorry, I had to ask. I didn't know.
That's a good question, though.
Do we know a potential number that we could have to pay if we don't accept that?
Possibly 0, possibly, I think, up to, the attorney's fees are, at this point, which really nothing's happened, it's at $5,000,
well, I mean, I won't say nothing's happened, that's not fair, but, because they filed a complaint and they had to do a lot of work but the city responded to that, so I just think if y'all want me to argue on behalf of the city that the city shouldn't have to be out that money, I can definitely argue that the city has essentially rendered the lawsuit moot, and that the plaintiff's own conduct has rendered it moot, since they were part of the agreement that did away with the MRID. The city has not violated any court order, so I can definitely make some arguments to that effect. I think if they're able to go to trial and prove that there was some kind of retaliation, I think that strengthens their case for attorney fees.
How much strength is in the fact that they voted and repealed what they passed? Isn't that gonna be used by their attorneys as evidence that they must have thought it was wrong because they repealed it?
I don't think so,
Okay.
because that's not the reason they did it. It was essentially on my advice to, city's got enough lawsuits. Why are you really even taking them off the board? We anticipate that perhaps there might not even be a board in the future, and that's actually what happened. So, it seemed to me is the best way to go. Not without admitting any fault on the part of the city or any city employee or representative.
And in every case we've had, the judge has not awarded attorney fees to the other side.
Is there a time limit associated when we need to make a decision on this?
No, but yes and no. The parties, the plaintiffs, they didn't say if you don't accept this by a certain time, we're gonna go forward, or we'll assume you deny it. But I can tell you that the judge at some point, probably pretty soon, will be looking over her docket, and will see that this case is just hanging there with apparently no activity. So she will probably tell all the lawyers, if you don't get something going in 10 days, I'm gonna just dismiss the case just because nobody's doing anything.
I think we definitely need further discussion. I don't know that we want to do that right now, or we can talk about it at finance. It does involve money, so talk about it, get a game plan there, and move it to the next council meeting.
Probably a motion to lay it on the table.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to table this to finance and possibly the next council meeting.
I'll second that.
Okay, Sean makes the motion.
Was it Donnie that seconded it?
Donnie
Yes.
seconded it, yes.
You want a voice vote, or you want roll call?
Do a roll call vote. Anything that involves.
Alderman Yancey?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderwoman Hilliker?
Yes.
Alderman Raines?
Yes.
Alderman Vickers?
Yes.
Alderman Dawson?
Yes.
Alderman Draper?
Yes.
Okay. It's gonna move to finance, and then we'll decide from there. Animal control budget contract.
Building contract.
Yeah, building contract.
So my understanding is this contract was never officially approved by council, so Brian wanted it brought to council so they could officially approve it, I guess, so,
Okay,
or not. I guess it's probably late now, but.
any discussions on approving the animal building contract?
Is this the building we bought?
What's the question?
Is this the building we've already bought?
It's laying on the
Well,
ground.
we've already paid a lot of the money for it, yes.
Well, it's actually not the one that's laying on the ground, because that one is not the right building. They messed the
Correct.
footage up on it, so they reordered a new one that's gonna be here in a couple of weeks.
For the new one or the one laying on the ground?
It's for the new one. He's buying the one that ended on the ground. It was his mistake. Actually, not the company's.
Cities, my understanding from David, the city is not paying twice.
Right.
And mistakes is.
Do we know when the new building's gonna get here?
The process of being manufactured right now was ordered 3 weeks ago. Takes between 4 and 8 weeks to get.
Or they drop it and get,
We're
when they
gonna
pick the
that
other one up
up,
at the same time?
yeah, and then, deliver the new one. This one may disappear before that.
Did they give you a date?
No.
Don't worry about that.
I didn't get any email confirmation from them yet. So when they do, I'll let everybody know. Yeah.
I mean, I want it to happen. There's been a lot of hiccups. Like I said, this is the first time I think any of us have seen this contract for this building.
So it's just a contract for the building. We approved the money for the building months ago. So he had to have the contract signed to use the money to put down on the building. Do I have a motion to approve the contract for the building?
So moved.
Do I have,
Who was the
Okay.
second?
Travis seconded it?
Want a roll call?
Sure.
Alderman Yancey?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderwoman Hilliker?
Yes.
Alderman Raines?
Yes.
Alderman Vickers?
Yes.
Alderman Dawson?
Yes.
Alderman Draper?
Yes.
Okay, contract passes. Water Department truck approval.
This was pushed from finance. I think I presented it on behalf of Chris Bigness on here. The truck that he normally drives was totaled by a couple of his were they water department or street department guys? I don't remember.
Was Water Department people.
And the insurance company considers it totaled and offered a insurance check of $38,200. I don't know what our deductible is, so whatever. And Chris thought as long as he was getting he needed to get a new truck, that it would be good to upsize it from a half-ton to a three-quarter ton and then get a newer one. So we talk about the difference is $14,873 to get a 2026 brand-new three-quarter ton truck.
And Chris does have the money in the budget.
Correct. Street
So
department.
it's not coming out of
Yeah, water.
any other council funds. He has the money for the truck.
I'll make a motion to accept. Second.
Okay, Donnie makes the motion, Sean seconds it. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say the same. Truck passes.
This truck.
Chris did say, and I agree, that he's the only one that's gonna drive this new truck.
He said you told him
So,
that.
so it will be new for a long time, because Chris is real good. Okay,
So the next item is the slope motor for a golf course. Again, this was introduced at finance. With all the hills and stuff on our golf course, we actually don't own a lawnmower that's capable of doing slopes without gouging the grass or scalping it, whatever you wanna call it. And so, it was recommended that we look at a particular model, Toro 3500D, that's specifically for that.
I was told there was a slope mower up there.
I know I went through that today because I wanted to make sure, and we have some that can do it, but not well. Not the kind of terrain we have. They can do up to a 15-degree, and we have more than that.
Where's
So,
the vent track?
Exactly. The vent track needs to be worked on. It has a problem.
Goes back to the dam.
Right,
Well,
right.
that's the difference, the back of the greens, you have a lot of curvature. The vent track, the attachment is just basically a bush hog. It's a straight, 8-foot attachment. So you're not gonna get any kind of curvature on that.
You get a different attachment, you can get any attachment you want for those things.
We've had so many problems with the vent track.
What is there? The motor, transmission?
The problem right now is, for whatever reason, it's running excessively hot. The mufflers inside the housing It's overheating and it's melting relays and wiring. It was repaired once, but the heating problem was not addressed by the person who did the repairs. So guess what? It happened again, burnt the relays again. So that is the problem, is the heating problem. A simple one would be to run the muffler outside the housing, and yes, it'd be a modification, but would that cure everything going on with Ventrac? It would stop it from having the problem of melting the wiring and the relays.
How much is a new mower gonna cost?
Dan, did you say someone was here to talk about the mower, or was that,
Derek, he's our new groundskeeper.
could we hear the
Sure.
benefits of this versus the Ventrac that we already have? I mean, other, if we get it fixed and going.
Come right up here, Derek, there's a microphone right there.
I'd like to hear the reason.
Just push that right out and push that little button, and it'll turn orange for you, and you're all.
Push the little button on the base. There you go.
The benefits of this mower that we need at the golf course that we can't use.
I mean, to maintain the contours, there's a lot of them from tee to.
You gotta raise that mic up there.
Mainly being just the contours simply from tees to greens to, like I said, the machine's having an issue with it. Might be able to find a resolution. Don't have it right now, but that machine is specifically used for slopes over 15 degrees. So right now the machine's being used to maintain that, or not. So we're at a bit of a liability from that standpoint. So.
The Ventrac, if it was good, would that take care, will we still need a new mower?
It would. It's more of, like he said, more of a bush hog. It's just knocking grass down.
It's got like a 6-foot straight deck.
Right, yeah, where the Toro machine has a patent that all 3 decks are gonna float in contour to all surfaces, where it's patented that there's not really a machine. It's gonna make it as good, and also, the operator's not gonna, it's not gonna be a liability standpoint from the golf course. The Ventrac is not like I said, it's gonna lay the grass down. The Toro machine has rollers to lay the grass for striping, just to add an aesthetic to the course that right now is not there. That machine's not properly passing over the undulations, and it's sometimes it does good, sometimes it scalps for 20, 30 yards, and the machine we're using for it has a lot of moving parts. There's 3 or 4 belts per deck, over a dozen blades that's got to be sharpened, tightened. The machine can't be run at more than, I believe, 3/4 throttle. It's always overheating.
And the new mower won't have near that much maintenance, or?
No, sir. It's just 3 decks, bolt directly to 3 electric motors. It's got a belt for the engine, but other than that, a lot less moving parts. And it's going to make it look the way everybody wants it to look. The machines we have now are kind of working, but it'll be a night and day.
Well, and the machines we have now, we had a machine, a year ago, roll over on somebody, and it doesn't have a counterweight that needs to be able to do the back of the screen. So what he was talking about is a liability issue with the mowers that we do have to do that. Obviously, the Ventrac wouldn't do that, but it doesn't have the curvature to be able to do that. So my idea would be to let's increase the longevity of the Ventrac, because it is the only mower that can do back of dams. So we could use it as a backup in case we need it on the golf course, but increase the longevity of it through our annual inspections on our dams.
Right, and there is a lot of moving more pieces with it.
Yes.
Belts.
Well, if you get this new mower, will you mow the fairways all the way to the green like they used to be?
It's not a fairway
It won't be
mower.
the machine that you utilize for that, but that still can be done. But this machine's not too.
How much is this machine?
We have numbers for?
36,000. 36,000?
Well, we have that insurance money from the maintenance building, and we have $50-some thousand for it. We only use 15 to fix all the repairs.
I didn't think the insurance money from the maintenance building has been decided that you're not gonna rebuild that building because with the feedback that I'm getting from people, they want that building back. And if you don't use that, you're gonna lose $13,000 right off the top of that insurance money.
You're talking about
You're talking about a
Minimum.
different building.
Dwayne,
This
you're
is the
talking
maintenance
about a
building.
different I'm talking about the maintenance building. I'm not talking about the golf cart building.
Well, shouldn't we use the money to pay, don't we have, what, 14,000 we put into that other building? The bills that I've seen come across that I've signed for
14,000.
fixing that building?
Well, we're gonna discuss and decide what we need to do with that money as a council, but right now, we're talking about a mower. So,
I never did get a price on the wall.
About 35 or 36,000 for new. There are used ones that go on as low as 8,000, those are pretty old. You can get a 2006 or 2005 for 8,000, but just so you know the numbers.
If it was a 10 or 12-year-old, you'd be up in the neighborhood of 14 to 16,000.
but are you getting a good machine at that?
Yes, I mean, that's what you gotta look at.
The hours on the machine is the issue, and obviously the year, you don't, probably don't want anything over, what, 2015? The design is just, is different. But, you know, we had a mower that we looked at purchasing, and the way it's kind of set up right now, we don't have time to, you know, call them and give them an offer, and then go to council to get it approved and all that, so we're just trying to get an amount approved to, maybe 35,000, and then we're gonna try to get it to 15 to 20,000. But then we won't be able to lose out on that time.
How much, would this be a year-round type mower, is it just, would it just be like,
No, as if the grass is going from early spring to late in the fall. You'll use this around every tee box is elevated, every green is slightly elevated. There's some contours and elevation.
Can you speak into the mic, because
Sorry.
people out there are not
Sorry.
gonna be able to hear you.
Now, we'd be able to use this from, as long as the grass is growing from early spring and to late fall.
Now, the offsetting part is we've also got one or two mowers that we don't really need, that we could,
Correct.
well, I guess I'm looking for, is this a critical piece we need this year? Or is this something that we're only gonna have a couple more months of the year to use it, and then it's gonna sit in a hanger for a year until next season?
We're good, I mean, we're using this as long as the grass is growing this year, and as soon as it starts growing again next year. I mean, every
bent grass, not Bermuda.
every tee, every green, and some, contour is in between that.
It's for the greens, and the greens are bent grass, and it would still have to be maintained around the greens.
It's not for the greens,
The size
No.
of the green.
Okay.
it's for the slopes.
All right. I'm talking about the slope coming up to the green, not on top of the green.
I'm just not real comfortable yet, because we still don't know our finances have gotten, that's something I think we need to think about.
I think we need to move to table this and discuss some more. I make a motion to table it and do some more discussion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor of tabling it, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say the same. Okay, it's tabled. Is it possible for you guys to actually bring in information? I mean, bulletins on what you're getting and how much it is?
That's the thing, Dwayne, we don't know how much it's gonna cost until we gotta have a budget to be able to purchase it with. You give me a budget, and then I can take that budget and figure out what we can get with it.
If you wanna buy a mower, you gotta give us the price of what the mower is.
That's the
And
hard
don't
thing
tell me
in
you
the
can't,
city, is you have to look at new stuff. because
Yeah.
it's-
and the last thing you do is tell them you're from the city, trust me, because when I bought those new tractors, that was the worst thing. First dealer I went to, someone had said I was from the city, and they wouldn't give me a dime off of those things. Oh, you're from the city, you got money. No, go to them and tell them you're looking to buy this yourself. Get the
I
deal.
used to try to buy used equipment all the time, and trying to get money approved, I go to an auction. They can't seem to make it work. I don't know, I could never make it work, so we'd have to just intervene to buy a new piece of equipment, and we could afford a new piece.
It would help people if we knew real dollar values of what you wanna spend. Not give me 30,000, I'll try to spend 15. That's all.
Figure next time will help us.
And since half this council isn't golfers, we could benefit from seeing a picture and understanding what it is. Damaged cart shed.
Mr. Mayor, I talked to,
Can you come up here and talk? Because
no, all I'm gonna say is, all you're doing is about the same problem if you buy used equipment. You better think about that. Is there a trade-in, or they take any, give us a trade-in on the old one, or?
well, I don't know, I'm not making the deal, and I guess that's the part of it, is you make the deal, and then you bring the deal to the people and decide whether you wanna do it or not. And that's not true in terms of when you buy used equipment, you're buying headaches. But what is true, whether you get new or old, if we don't maintain this equipment, and I can tell you, I went up and took pictures of those mowers, and they're in a disaster. They were out and mowed, they were brought in, there's clumps of grass all over the blades weren't sharpened, and traditionally, people don't use grease and oil around here. Running a farm for 27 years, don't turn a machine on unless it's greased and oiled. You do it every time before it goes out. And you should have a slip that tells that that's what's going on, and your equipment will last you. I mean, most farmers don't go out and buy $500,000 tractors. They make their tractors last. They do that by taking care of them.
I'm glad that you're in agreement with me that we need to have a change.
I'm in agreement with that.
But
So
can
ne-
I believe that if they're not in the program, you know, like Case and everybody's already in the program where they have state aid vehicles and state contract vehicles, whatever you wanna call it, that they've already sent out bids and they're the low bidder, just like when you go buy a pickup truck, say, whatever state truck is white, you know, 3/4 ton Chevy, half tons might be Dodge, that's already been brought down, like when you go buy a backhoe, you can go to Case, you can go to it because it's already met the state bid. Otherwise, you should have to have 3 bids before you buy a piece of equipment if they're not state, on the state contract to give lower bids. Now, since the golf course is city equipment,
Right.
I believe all that's gonna have to be bid. I mean, if it's 4.0, you'll have to get 3 different 4.0 dealers.
You're right. So just like this truck is, that's state.
Right, that's the state.
It wasn't brought up, but
It's already.
you're right, Donnie.
You're a city, here's your price.
Wouldn't it be smart to get a repair, at least how much the Spectre or whatever the name of that is?
Ventrac?
No,
Yeah, it needs to be sent to a Ventrac dealer to be worked on regardless of whether you get it.
Has it ever been used to mow the back of the dam?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, that's like a
You know,
six,
if it's fixable.
that's like a
it's worth
$60,000
enough.
lawnmower.
We're using a Ventrac dealer.
Where?
I think it was,
Batesville.
Batesville, yeah.
That's Bobcat dealer, isn't it? That's not Ventrac.
That's right.
Take it to a Ventrac dealer, not a Bobcat dealer.
Yeah.
You know, that-
Just said it was a Ventrac dealer.
Okay,
Okay.
It's a special machine, it's a machine of its own, it needs to go to.
damaged cart shed. What's that?
This was brought forward from finance, excuse me, as well. The large cart shed, which I think is what you were talking about before, the 200-foot long one or whatever. Just so you guys have the numbers, they gave us a check for $84,000. If we replace it, I think they're valuing a new one at $99,000, but that would also cost us, or I shouldn't say that, they're valuing it at $107,000. But 8 of that we would have to pay because that's our deductible. So we don't have to pay a deductible if we just take the money. So it's not really $16,000 difference, it's more like 9.
But we've already paid the deductible on the sheds when they burned up.
The deductible just gets deducted from what they give you.
But the deductible, you only pay once. Doesn't matter, just like all the roofs that we did. If we paid for the deductible on the maintenance shed itself, we don't have to pay another deductible on that building.
Okay, that's probably a good point. The point is,
So in
still
that
though,
case, then-
we get a $100,000 shed that we don't use. So, you know, my example is, well, what if they give us $200,000 worth of sardines? Doesn't matter, we don't need sardines, we don't need a 200-foot shed either, we weren't using it. So what we're looking at is rebuilding it with materials that are still there to a smaller one that we would use, and taking the difference and using it for whatever. It can be for the lakes, it can be for a lot of different things that money could be used for. And that's what has been brought to council for an opinion. Sorry. Oh, that's that one.
There's no repercussions for using money that was given to us to replace a shed somewhere else?
No, it's your money to do whatever you want with. You just can't say that you repaired it.
Right, but it's not your money, it's the people's money right out there. And I'd like
understand.
to know how many people really don't want that 200-foot building put together. You know, and you're saying build half of it. And I said, if you only want to use half of it, put a wall in the middle. But you still would have it
For what?
for whatever the people might want to use that for. It's a 200-foot building. I mean, you've got space in the other buildings. Put that stuff inside. I mean, we sent a brand-new tractor up from the city. It's 1 year old. Every time I go up there, it's sitting out in the sun. Why? Why is the tractor just sitting there in the sun, the rain, and whatever? Put it in a building. You know?
Just for the cart shed.
All of that stuff. There's no reason for it to be sitting out. There's no reason for it not to be greased. There's no reason for the oils not to be changed.
We've got a couple
We
of
would have
contracts.
two buildings, correct? Like, we would have half of each end, right? We're just gonna close in.
It would just be a complete building that's about, I think they were looking at, instead of being 200 feet, it would be 80 feet long, and it would be ample for anything we needed to store in there. Again, the only thing that was in that shed, there used to be carts a long, long time ago. Now there was like 2 piles of fertilizer on one end and some broken down machinery on the other end. That was all that was in there. So,
Why can't we put an ad in the paper and ask the people what they want to do with it? If they want the building or they don't want the building. That's pretty simple.
excuse me? There was also one for the maintenance shed, correct. I think the number was 50-something, then there was a third building, which is the Boy Scout building, which we got a small amount of, because there was damage to the skirting on the bottom of the, so that was a few $1,000s. So the totals might be that, but I think it was actually 55 for the maintenance shed, and maybe with the deductible, it was 61, you might be right.
And wasn't there issues with the air conditioning in the Boy Scout building that got burned or something? And Mike was waiting for the insurance on that too. So this insurance money needs to be spent to fix what we need to fix.
That was on the, that was on the Boy Scout building, and if it really in fact was damaged, there will be an addition to the claim. Right now, we can't imagine, we look at it, there's no damage to it. I think that it's broken, he doesn't want to pay his warranty, so he's blaming it on a fire. I don't see how a brand new,
Well, he's the air conditioning guy,
yes,
and
he
he's
is,
saying that
and
it's
air
busted.
conditioning people rip people off all the time. I'm telling you, it was a brand new thing, and it barely got near the fire. The fire barely got near it.
Have somebody else check it out.
Right, we should have somebody else check it out.
Yeah, let's get somebody else to check it out, because I don't think you want to call Mike DeCenzo a thief.
I didn't say that, I'm just saying it didn't look like anything damaged from the fire.
Let's get an independent person to take a look at it.
If you're gonna run something in the paper saying, do we want it, do we don't, we run something that gives us an alternative if we don't. I mean, to me, it doesn't matter, I don't really care, because I don't use the golf course, and you got equipment, put it in it, I'm all for that. If we're not gonna use it, it's alternative.
Alternative's a couple of bids and taking the material that's there and rebuilding it half the size. We have bids already given to us. Everybody was given that, you have one too, Mayor, right? Presented to us tonight?
What did we get tonight?
Looks like this.
Nathan Gray.
I think that's from
Like
Dan,
that.
Dan.
Right, but even if you make it into an 80-foot building, there's still money left.
That's,
And the money would be.
that's what we're suggesting, making it 80-foot building and using the
And the
difference.
money would be used on the golf course for probably a sprinkler system. Because the cart is part of the golf course, is the only reason I said that.
It could be used
It
for
is
whatever you want to
storage
use
for
it
golf carts.
Right, but what I'm saying is the way it was put out was, let's put it in the paper and ask people if they want the cart shed or they don't want the cart shed. So if I don't want the cart shed, what's my alternative?
I'll get a tally, how many want what, you gonna vote on it, or what are you gonna do?
Yeah, how would we do that?
I guess they can call us.
Let's just do nothing for another 6 months and just have it let sit there
Donnie,
and
is there
spend it.
equipment that's setting out, you're a golfer and you've worked here, is there equipment around that has no home that it could go in?
You could all, as far as I know, there's buildings for all of it.
But if this building isn't completed, if it's.
It's been empty for as long as I've ever been here. I thought they were gonna tear it down 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was condemned.
Well, they were gonna tear it down because there was no good roof on it, but we had a brand-new roof on that building.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And they replaced all the
But it's been empty is what I'm saying.
all the stuff to it.
It had fire damage from
Been
before,
empty as long
Mayor.
as I've ever golfed it.
Could it be a garage to fix the things that are supposed to be up there, tool type shed for that sort of?
They have, there's a shop for that, they have a storage barn for their mowers and their equipment, I think one or two of them.
Well, what if we asked the people to come up with some ideas on what to do with that building if it was rebuilt? And let's see what the people produce as ideas.
With the money, they have $129,000 that they've taken in insurance claims. Maybe ask the people what they wanna do with the money and stay with the building. Since they're already wanting to spend it on a board, why not ask the people what they wanna do with the $129,000?
What's it gonna cost to turn the building into an 80-foot building? I mean, you guys have bids, but no
Yeah,
one said.
$16,000 was the low bid.
16.5.
Because they're using material.
Yeah, I understand that, but
Yeah.
we've never heard the number, so.
I'm sorry.
16,000, what's left over?
About
A lot.
68?
Use somewhere else.
Okay, but if you don't rebuild the building and you're saying it's 107, that's $23,000 you're throwing to the wind.
I said 107 because I was adding the deductible. I'm sorry, you were right. That's already been subtracted. So it's 99. 99,000 versus 84, so it's $15,000 difference.
Deductible, I mean, it's two different buildings and they don't have two different deductibles.
No, it's one deductible when the claims go in. You don't,
Even on a fire though, I mean, I understand roofs and
yeah, because it was the same fire, same as
Yeah.
what it did to the Boy Scout building. It was the same fire. It wasn't a separate fire.
glad that guy's.
So, yeah, the insurance deductible gets paid once, just like on all the roofs. We paid one deductible for the damage. We got all brand-new roofs. We didn't pay that deductible, only the one
But
time.
just going back, just to be clear so everybody understands, when we were talking about the mower, we weren't talking about the cart shed. We were talking about the maintenance shed. A lot of the work to restore the maintenance shed was either stuff that they didn't choose to repair or they repaired it themselves. So there's a considerable difference between what was received for the maintenance building and what was spent. So there's probably $43,000 difference between what they received for the maintenance building and what was spent. So, and that included,
Maintenance building was fixed, is it suitable, is it
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
meet standards?
Yeah, I mean, some of the things was smoke damage to ceiling tiles. I mean, it's a maintenance shed. Who cares if there's smoke, if it's, you know, if there's black on their ceiling tiles in a maintenance shed, things like that, so.
They ran new electrical, right?
Right, new electrical, they had to do stuff with the fuel tanks. We had temporary fuel tanks, that it was all in there, and I think our, what was the number, Dan? It was somewhere around 12,000, I think, was spent, so.
I mean, a personal opinion, could they at least finish the red metal on the back, so it's
We're
not.
gonna do that.
Mhm.
We're gonna do that. I'm trying to get it all, I'm trying to get the one building, determine what we're gonna do with the cart shed, and then we're gonna do them all.
Where's the contract on that?
There is no contract on, that's what we're trying to talk about. What we spent was under $5,000.
It was just the repairs, so it was just little things here and there. There was something to the, Scott Fuel did some of it, the electrical was some of it. Each one was, you know, a few $1,000s each.
Are
So,
we hiring the company out of Jonesboro to do all these repairs?
we haven't hired anybody to do anything.
Well, who's done it then?
Well, yeah, we did.
Good work.
Smith Electric.
We've signed at least 2 to 3 checks of a company out of Jonesboro that did that repair.
They did the bathroom.
Well, they did the bathroom, they did the ceiling, they did lights.
Yeah. And what, I mean, what's the issue with that? You use one roof guy to do $300,000 worth of work. Where's the?
I'd like to
bids for
see
that?
I'd like to see the
I'd like to see
figures.
the bids for that.
And I'd like to see the,
This is ridiculous. We saved $45,000.
I'd like
You're up there
Why are you twisting
complaining?
it around, Dan?
Dan, I'm not talking to you. Okay, I'm talking to the council right now. If you want to say something, come here and talk right into that mic.
Is Dan a superintendent or a
You
director?
follow the same thing he just said, if you wanna talk, go up there and talk.
Right. Come up and talk on the mic, please.
Is Dan a superintendent or a director?
Well, the name superintendent.
What I asked, if Dan is a superintendent or a director.
All right, the word superintendent was used when Wally was given the job, and that's a director's position. He was made a director in December before any one of these people was sworn in.
Honestly, not possible. You
And-
can't be a director when we don't even own it yet. It was MRID. How could he be a director when it's MRID? not
So the
possible.
ordinance allowing the $5,000 expenditure, was it passed to allow the superintendent or our director to do that expense?
I think the ordinance might have been worded director, I'm not sure.
Or-
Well, anyways, the issue with the director and the jobs and all that is gonna be settled in court. So that's a whole separate thing. But who's open to hearing suggestions on what people wanna do with that building before we just decide to do something with the building? Because I think we should at least let the people send something in of what they want done with it. You might end up, the people might say they want that money spent on the pool, and they don't want another building at all. So what are you gonna do then? Gonna spend the money on the pool? Why not give the people a chance? We'll put it in the paper,
Yeah, we'll be 900,000 short.
you know, send us your thing. Oh, give me a break, 900,000.
Need a estimate on what it'd be for a pool. If that's a suggestion, we
Well,
need a bid on that one too.
We're not there yet. I'm just asking, instead of us just taking this insurance money and doing something else with it, I mean, first, we're gonna lose a lot of money. At least 13,000 and possibly 23,000, because I haven't seen the figures yet, and I haven't seen the check, and I've asked you for those, the insurance check and the figures, and I haven't seen them yet. I don't know if it's 107 or 97 or anything like that, but I'd like to see the numbers. And I'll add up the numbers of the work that's been done up there by that group out of Jonesboro, because there's been at least 3 checks, and it's around 14 grand so far is my guess. But I could be off. I'll add them up. I'll get them from Victoria.
Can I make a comment?
Sure. Come right up.
Okay. Thank you. This is kind of my wheelhouse. I think that we, the people, elected the men and women that's sitting behind us, all of them. I think our city needs a strategic plan. And that strategic plan definitely should be decided with the input of the citizens of this city, because our voices matter. However, to have a conversation like this about do we or don't we spend $45,000 or $55,000 or $12,000 or $79,000 on a cart shed or a half a building or whatever is a matter for the finance committee to have a conversation, an intelligent conversation about it with the facts and the figures. And B, is not an, in my opinion, is not an open discussion until this city addresses the more strategic issues in this city. For instance, our roads. Let's start there. And then let's talk about transportation for the elderly. Let's talk about the things that make a city first. And I'm with the mayor. It's time to stop this squabbling and this pettiness that's going on in this community and get together with a strategic plan. So that is my opinion. Take it, leave it, for whatever. But I appreciate the ability to have an opportunity to make a comment. And I would just encourage the council and the mayor to start thinking strategically. And we elected you for a reason, because we need leadership. We need leadership in this city. And y'all are the ones that were elected to do it.
Thank you. All right. So what if we table this and take it to the finance committee and we produce the figures, the insurance checks, the amount of the money? And we can ask the citizens to provide any input. Next finance committee meeting, send us a letter if you have an idea on what to do with the money. We can at least talk about it. And does anybody have a problem with that? Do I have a motion then to move this to the next finance committee? Jeanette makes the motion.
Second.
Okay.
seconded
Travis seconds it. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say the same. Okay, it goes to finance. Okay, public comments. Uriah, you're up.
Just in case you want me to.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, Mayor and Council, thanks for letting me speak. I came up with this a couple weeks ago after a boating and fishing club meeting. We met at our monthly meeting. Progressing through the year, we're working on a artificial fish habitat project. And so again, kind of like with fish stockings, I'm just coming here seeking approval. I'll read this proposal for you guys and then hopefully we can move forward. This proposal seeks from the Horseshoe Bend City Council to install environmentally safe and artificial fish habitats in local lakes using materials such as 5-gallon buckets, PVC pipe, and concrete. The goal is to enhance the fish population, improve biodiversity, support recreational fishing, and promote ecological sustainability to our community's freshwater ecosystem. Over time, many of our local lakes have experienced habitat degradation due to shoreline development, sedimentation, and natural aging processes. As a result, fish populations suffer from a lack of sustainable spawning and shelter areas. Artificial habitats have been successfully used in lakes across the country to mimic natural structures like fallen trees, submerged roots, and rock piles. These structures provide critical cover for juvenile and adult fish, increasing survival rates, and contribute to the stable and diverse aquatic ecosystems. The project description: we propose to construct and install a series of fish habitat structures made from 5-gallon plastic buckets used as the anchoring base, PVC pipe, which serves as vertical horizontal shelter, or limbs in this case, concrete used to fill the buckets to anchor these structures. These materials are durable, non-toxic, long-lasting, and proven safe for aquatic life and when used responsibly. Locations will be as follows: 20 habitats in Crown Lake, 10 habitats in Diamond Lake, 10 habitats in Pioneer Lake. All structures will be fully submerged and anchored to avoid interference with boating and swimming. Each will be installed using best practice to ensure environmental safety and minimal disruption to the lake bed. Request: we are respectfully requesting City Council's approval to construct and install artificial fish habitats in the designated areas listed above. Of course, all my contact information, and thank you for the consideration. Basically, this is just going to be like the last time. If you guys do approve, I'll need just a letter of exception, then I'll take it to Arkansas Game and Fish. We have a date set for the end of August to construct these. We're going to meet over at Veterans Park, and if anyone has any of the items listed below, we'd be more than happy to take them. 5-gallon buckets, we can clean them out. Any used, slightly used, heavily used PVC, anything would help greatly. So that's all.
I know where there's a whole pile of that stuff sitting in the woods
Well,
on city property, in fact.
we'd be more than happy to.
I'll show you
take
where
it
it
and use
is.
Diameter?
I'll show you where it is.
Any questions from council?
Diameter of the pipe?
Doesn't matter. So normally what we do is we'll run, and in the past we've ran 4-inch, any bigger, any smaller, but we'll run a 4-inch, we'll drill holes and just basically, sliding PVC through PVC. Then we'll fill the core all the way up, solid piece, and basically we try to mimic what a tree would look like. So any sizes, we can go down to, 1/2 inch, we can go down to 3/8 of, CPVC, anything, so.
Gotcha.
Had real good luck with the orange pipe that they're running fiber.
Yeah, the fiber tube.
It's kind of winding down in these areas, so it's getting harder to get a hold of that stuff.
Yeah, the
We
last
had tons of that stuff.
round we did 22 habitats, and we used a large amount of the tubing that was handed over from various people that worked for Next and the fiber company, so.
Do we put a buoy or something to designate with the R so somebody doesn't try and?
No, so what we do
Anchor or
is,
whatever.
Lorraine has a map over at Boxtown Marina, and we actually pinpoint them when we go out. We'll put them on a GPS map, and then we'll actually mark them on her map. So she has a map of Crown Lake, so that one will be, it'll be marked for, physical, viewing. As far as the other lakes, they're usually in deep enough water to where you're not worried about anyone driving over and hit them with a boat or anything like that.
No, I was
so.
thinking more of somebody wants to anchor off and they put their anchor down and they hook it somehow, but that's all I was thinking.
No, yeah, there's not, I mean, like I said, we can share the GPS coordinates. Mike DeZenzo is the one who goes out with us. He marks them on his map. He can share the coordinates. What we would like to work on is, in the near future, is doing a similar map of Crown Lake to the smaller lakes we have, just so we can, again, a lot of people don't even know they're here, so if we could show, hey, we have habitats in these lakes and there's good fishing, especially with Diamond Lake now having a decent public access. I've seen a lot more use out of that lake here in the last year, so.
Okay.
Any other questions, concerns?
I just want to thank you for all the stuff you're doing for our
Rum?
lakes and stuff. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Where do they just contact you if they have things to donate, like buckets and stuff?
Yep, my contact information's on here, and I'm sure anyone can find my contact information. It's not hard, so.
I just want to know.
But yeah, they can call me, call anyone from the club. We can set a drop-off point, or I can pick up anything, so. Do what? Yeah. Just drive by, throw them in the yard, it's fine.
I just thought maybe the recycle center, cardboard and stuff, maybe you want to put a drop off there.
I was gonna say, 5-gallon buckets, we can even use, the cat litter boxes. I was gonna reach out to Dave. I know that they go through a lot of litter. If they ever get the plastic buckets for the litter, those are perfect to use too. So anything that's, not gonna degrade sufficiently, over the next couple of years is suitable for us, so.
So do we have a motion to support the boating club doing the fish stuff?
I'll make the motion.
Sean makes the motion, Donnie seconds it. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say the same. You're all
Thank
set.
you. One other thing, we are doing next Friday, if anyone wants to help, we are working on doing a North Lake cleanup. That's our next kind of wheelhouse project. We're working on mechanically removing some lily pads. So if anyone wants to give a hand, we've got a couple different ideas that we're gonna run by. I know it's hot out, but we're gonna have a group of guys out there next Friday if anyone wants to come give a hand, so.
I try that all the time, it never works.
Okay, Raul Johnson.
I turned everything back over to Bob Johnson. Or not Bob Johnson, Bob Gary, yeah. We did what we could, but the last few months, Boy Scouts, we'd have one show up, we'd have 5 show ups, it was, we'd spend getting rid of us.
That's a shame.
We're working on it.
Is there something?
It was baseball season and families on vacation and everything, so we anticipate to get better, but, we got a good portion done, but not the whole thing, so.
Thank you, sir.
I'd like to thank the council for allowing me this time. In May of 2024, I volunteered my time to create drawings and specifications for an accessibility ramp at Unity Pavilion. I requested assistance from Dan Robinson, the city's building inspector, to assist me in shooting grade elevations in the area. Once completed, I created drawings prior to June 16th of 2024 and completed the specifications on June 16th. On June 25th, I also created a document Unity Pavilion Handicap Ramp bid process for the informational use for the city to advertise for bids, to request bid proposals for the installation of accessibility ramp. I was not included in the process of advertising for the bid proposals, but was made aware the city received no bids for the project. To the best of my knowledge, there has been not any additional follow-up by the city to get this project completed. In May of 2025, I decided to act on my own to volunteer my time to attempt to get this project to completion. I made several trips to Mountain Home to discuss handrails with a welding shop that I was hopeful that would be able to provide a bid for the required handrails. After 6 weeks of trips and phone calls, company decided not to participate in the project. However, they did provide a company name which did prove extremely helpful. In June of 2025, I made a trip to Norfolk General Industries in Norfolk, Arkansas, and had a conversation with Joshua Davis, the company's president. I provided him with a set of drawings and specifications for the required handrail. On June 24th, 2025, Mr. Davis sent an email with a bid proposal for the handrail. Unfortunately, I was currently out of country on vacation at that time, did not see the email until July 2nd. I then started to seek out a concrete contractor to perform the concrete installation for the accessibility ramp. I was successful in finding a local contractor to perform the concrete work. Attached, please find the following 3 bid proposals. Bid proposal for $2,400 for the installation of the concrete accessible ramp provided by Lucky Linos. Number 2, bid proposal of $7,650 by Norfolk General Industries for the fabrication, delivery, and installation of galvanized steel handrails installed on both sides of the accessible ramp. There's an additional price of $8,470 for aluminum railings. So depending on what the city would like to see, whether galvanized or aluminum, there's a price for either one. And that price does include installation. The third bid proposal was for paved accessible parking space at the pavilion. There is currently an accessible parking sign installed, which has been there as long as I've lived here, in just over 3 years. When the sign was installed, the parking area should have been paved at that time. The fee for this parking area is $3,456 provided by Lucky Linos. This fee does not include striping of the pavement as required by code. I'm aware that the city has small striping equipment to be able to do this portion. If needed, I will volunteer my time to complete the striping. All the information I just read out to you is all included in the packet. I realize this probably should have gone to Finance Committee, but I didn't have all the information ready for the last Finance Committee meeting. But I wanted to get this to the council at earliest date, because it's something that has really transpired for too long and really needs to be addressed. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Yeah, they said you had a drawing or something of your idea of where the sidewalk and stuff was going. Did you have that?
I don't have a copy with me, but I can get you a copy of it.
I'd like to see it.
Okay.
So
I mean,
kinda got an
should
idea.
maybe be a copy here at City Hall. When I the initial package. But, yeah, I can get one and get it over to you. Okay, anything else?
What's the total?
Well, let's see, with
13,300.
city accepts all 3 bids. We're at
5, 6, 7, 13, 14 and change.
13,
$520.
How much? 14?
So if you go with the aluminum,
If we go, let's see, if we go, that'd be 9, 10.
you go with the stainless.
$13,500.
If we go aluminum, it'll be 15.
Yeah, aluminum will be about,
14.4.
Thank you. And this has been,
Harold sent me something roll of a place called Aluminum Handrails Direct. He emailed it to me, I believe. That's like fold together pieces of aluminum handrail that you can buy. Might be something you look into. I know aluminum's good, but still they have to come out and build it like they did at our sewer plant, but all that together. Just something.
you know, like I said, I've reached out to a lot of people.
Well, this is all they do
A lot of
is
trips
sell
to different
parts, so
places,
all they'll do is.
talking to people about getting this done, and, as the mayor put it, I didn't even say, hey, I'm from the city, I did this. I'd say, I'm volunteering my time to do something, and this is what I'm this is what
And
I'm
that's what I was
looking
asking,
for.
if we had that picture, I
And
try
as
to
you'll see,
check
all
out
the
these.
quotes came to me, they're not addressed to City Horseshoe Bend, but that was about the only way I was able to get this done.
Right, and that's what I say, if you get that picture, it might be something we can check out on handrails. Hey, if you can save 3 or 4,000, save it.
Yeah.
is there a time limit on these bids?
prices vary quite a bit, so aluminum could go up. The galvanized steel, I don't think will have as much of an impact.
Right.
Any other questions?
So
All
good.
right, I'll get a copy of, I'll have to go to Mount Home to make a copy of that print for you, but as soon as I have it, I'll get it to you.
You don't have it digitally anywhere? Like say, because I have a 3-foot printer, but.
No, it's on the 24 by 16 sheet.
Just take a picture of it. Yeah, if there's anything on it,
Yeah.
send me a picture. That's good enough for me to see. Yeah.
I'll get that to you then.
Say your trip to Mount Hope. Yeah, right. Yeah, just a picture of it. I can blow it up and count poster feet and.
Okay.
We have individuals that are using this every Wednesday that are needing the access to be ADA approved. And that's something that should have been done when the building was made, let alone now. It's been some time.
The importance of it is, if there's someone that has an accessibility issue, and they get hurt out there, the city will get sued.
It's kind of what I was thinking.
Because that's a government facility, it should have been accessible from the beginning, and the fact that it was not, that's a pending lawsuit, and that's why I took matters in my own hand to get this put together. I realized that just getting one bid is typically not how you handle a construction project, but it took me about 3 months just to get one bid together for this.
I thank you for doing that, because once all the contractors were turned in that built the building, nobody wanted to come and do the rest of it. And there's still that sentiment about Horseshoe Bend because of that. That's the sad thing. And it's gonna take a while to rebuild people trusting us and coming in here. But thank you for all the work you did on this, Raul. You did a nice job. Do we wanna move this to bring it up in finance? And that, by then you can get us hopefully a copy of your drawing and.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to bring it to finance?
I'll make a motion and take.
Donnie makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Travis seconds it. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say the same. Move it to finance. We'll look at your drawings and we'll try to get this done as quick as we can. Thanks for the extra work.
Thank you very much.
Okay, any other comments, issues, or do we want to adjourn?
I want to make a statement. Michelle, this is not going to help your lawsuit. Well, make your comments. Anyways, good evening, everybody. I just wanted to go talk about the golf course real quick. Some council members had asked about some financials on it, so I wanted to provide something. The month of July in 2024, our general ledger report, we made $51,035.88. 1 year later, our July report, general ledger, $82,164, an increase of over $30,000, up 61%. Our members have gone up 58%. We're over 100 members now. Concessions are up 104%, and merchandise is up over 167%. And merchandise and concession could be doing a lot better still. So I just wanted to give those numbers out to everybody. And the way our system is set up, it doesn't. Last year we had 4 or 5 schools at this time. Now we have 7, and Sloan Hendricks has 20-some students that we added to the golf course. When we add a school to the Golf Now system, it only counts as 1 membership. But the average membership that we have for each school right now is about 11 students. So this membership, the over 100 membership right now, doesn't include all the students. And we've got over 70-some students, 80 students that we've added. So some good news for everybody.
That's awesome, Dan.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments? Do you want to adjourn?
Yeah, motion.
I'm looking for help, Donnie. Give me help here. Do you want to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Donnie says let's adjourn. Johnny makes the motion.
Second.
Sean seconds it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming. So these two I have to veto. Thanks, Brad.